Once blank occurs, indirect rule colonies were highly more stable than those with direct rule. Once decolonization occurs, indirect rule colonies were highly more stable than those with direct rule. All right. Now, decolonization. All right. So, I gave you two examples. All right. The first one was direct rule. All right. A lot of African countries, they were under direct rule of Europeans, and that was because they understood that in order to maintain um, control over those states, they would have they would need to practice direct rule. If they go ahead and they practice indirect rule with these states, well, there's a high possibility that that colony would become too educated, too well organized, and eventually form a revolution and gain its independence. Regardless of the fact those states they had to go through decolonization or gain the independence again gain the independence sooner or later. All right, so once decolonization occurs, indirect rule colonies were highly more stable than those with direct rule. Let's focus here on indirect rule colonies. Great example is North America, it's the United States. The British Empire comes, right? Eventually, mm, they do successfully create civilization here, and they begin indirect rule. That's homeland England acting as supreme power over these sub branches of their government. And these sub branches of the government are to enforce the law, create sub branches within that sub branch, right? To reinforce law, local law enforcement, foreign policies, collect taxation, protect from foreign invasion, and things that go along with running a country. All right, so that's indirect rule. Okay, these colonies were highly more stable after they gained their independence because they had already some form of structure. You had educated citizens that already acted as governors, already knew how to collect tax, already knew, was already, we'll say, law abiding citizens. All right. So that was a great example of indirect rule. Now let's talk about direct rule. All right. You have there Belgium, sorry, excuse me, Belgium, and Rwanda. What happened? Decolonization, right? They've always attempted to help them out directly, right? Rule over them directly. Didn't work out when they decolonized, when they removed their Belgium government body. They left they left two tribes basically at war with each other, and one decided to commit genocide over the other. So, direct rule kind of is proven to be more unstable than indirect rule after colonization, after decolonization.